Hey guys, let's talk about something that happened during my master's. So this happened at the San Francisco State University. We ended up playing the David Maslanka Symphony No. 7. Yes, I dug up my music for it. Now, at the time that we played the Maslanka Symphony, the other graduate student had not arrived yet. I had grouped the section in such a way that Sean was actually playing first chair and I was playing piccolo. I owned a piccolo, so I was like, well, I'll do the piccolo part, because the rest of the flutists who were playing with us, I think there was only like 1 or 2 that were actually going to the School of Music. Everyone else was just from other departments in the school. Most of them either did not want to play the piccolo part or they did not know how to play the piccolo part. This Maslanka Symphony No. 7 does have its own piccolo part, but my poor second flutists, when they ended up getting their part, page 6 of the entire piece in the 3rd movement, you get a part that says, take pick. I remember when we first were sight reading through this piece, my second flutist just flipped out because 1, none of them had a piccolo on them, and 2, they could not for the life of them imagine themselves playing this part. This part is all just rips that go up and down. It is your typical kind of piccolo part. They all looked at me with these faces of just absolute terror. They were giving me these eyes. The help me eyes. I decided to take a look at the part and I lined it up with mine. I had the 2 parts on my stand like this. So this is the second flute part that plays the piccolo for some time, and this is the actual piccolo part. I realized that what Maslanka was doing was he was trading off between the 2 piccolos. So he was trying to give a break to the piccoloist, basically, so that they're not doing continuous rips for like, how many bars does this go for? A page and a half. And then it starts up again a couple pages later. I don't know if you guys can see how black that looks. Where you have a rest in one part, the other piccolo part picks it up and does the exact same thing. Essentially, when you're playing one piccolo part, it'll sound like rest, 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 rest. But when you combine the 2 piccolo parts together, it's just continuous rips. And it spans pretty much the entire range of the piccolo. Almost the entire range. Sean had the responsibility of playing all the first flute parts, which are extremely important too. And I really needed a strong player to play those parts for this piece in particular, or else it was not going to be successful. So I made the decision to play both piccolo parts at the same time. I figured out how it works, so why not? My mouth got so tired. There's a lot of pressure right here when you play the piccolo. I would rather not do it for you guys right now because, to be really frank, I don't really know if I can pull it off as well as I did then. I think it's sort of like a fight or flight mentality. It's sort of the survival part of me that kicked in, and apparently I chose to fight. I really felt like I had no other choice. If I don't do this, our entire flute section falls apart, and this was such an exposed part that I felt that the entire symphony would be ruined if I didn't do this. My conductor was so genuinely excited about conducting this piece. I couldn't let him down either. If I didn't pull it together, I just knew that it wouldn't live up to the way the piece was meant to sound. I don't want to say the word expectations because I wasn't really doing it to fulfill other people's expectations. I was doing it to save my flute section. The absolute worst thing that you can do to your section as a section leader is to let them feel that they cannot play the piece that you are handing out to them. They get really demoralized. The more demoralized a section feels, the more they don't believe in themselves, and the more they don't believe in themselves, the worse they will actually play. Your emotions and your self-esteem does actually show in the way that you play. As a section leader, you actually want to make them believe that they can play even more than where their level is at, because that will give them that extra encouragement and that extra push to learn more. Being in a band at a university, really you want to treat it as a learning experience. You're not being professionals here, you're being students. And the point of going to such a band in a university is to learn. I put that at the forefront of my mind as a section leader, that I want them to learn. And when they were handed this piece, I knew I did not have enough time to teach them how to pull it off. That meant that I needed to do it for them. Typically, I don't like to hold people's hands when it comes to these kinds of things, but for this, they would be way in over their heads, and they knew it too. I only took the piccolo parts out of this part. I did still teach them and make them learn the rest of the actual flute part. Oh, they improved so much. Their confidence grew, and it was just amazing to see that as a section leader. Years later, I ended up almost forgetting that I even did this, that I played 2 piccolo parts at the same time. It wasn't until one of my friends on Facebook or something, we were randomly sort of reminiscing about the SF State band and stuff. She randomly mentioned that she remembers me playing 2 piccolo parts at the same time. This person didn't even play the flute, and they remembered that I played 2 piccolo parts at the same time. Apparently, other people in the band also remembered that I played 2 piccolo parts at the same time. And apparently it left a huge impression on them. I did not mean at all for that to happen. You guys are probably wondering why I'm telling you this story if I'm not here to show off the fact that I played 2 piccolo parts at the same time. What I'm really trying to tell you guys is, when you see professionals doing really crazy stuff, right? So like if someone gets sick and then another professional is called in to sight read their part, and they sight read it perfectly, and you're sitting there like, wow, how the heck do they do that? There comes a point where there's no longer the idea of trying. It's just like what Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. Because especially if you are placed in a situation where you know that you're the only one who can save the situation, you just do it. There is no, oh, I'll try to do it and we'll see if it works. Like, no, you just have to do it and make it work. In those moments when you are the person making it work, you are not thinking of yourself as a god. You are not thinking of yourself as anything special. You're only thinking of yourself as, well, it has fallen into my hands to save this situation, and I know that no one else can step up to this situation right now to handle it. I am literally the only person left to do this one job. Okay, fine, I will do it. Because I know that there are plenty of other flutists, plenty of other piccoloists who could have easily done what I did too. But at that point, at that time, in that particular situation, I was the only person who could do it. I'm sure that you will look up to people, you know, doing fantastic, amazing things, and they're really inspiring to you and stuff, but just know that those people feel just like you. It's just that they have been placed in a situation where it's up to them to make it work. I know this sounds really weird, but they probably don't really feel like they're anything special. When this situation happens to you, you probably won't even notice it until someone else points it out to you. When you perform a great feat, it does not really feel like a great feat to you. You don't have the luxury of, oh, I am going to perform this great feat for you guys to worship me. No, you don't have a choice, okay? Either you do it or the show flops. It might look grand, it might sound grand, but it doesn't feel grand. I just want to burst your guys' bubbles. The only reason why you do it is you either care about the music like crazy, or you care about the people in your group like crazy. So there you go. That was my experience playing 2 piccolo parts at the same time. Even now, I still don't really feel like I did play 2 piccolo parts at the same time. Like, it doesn't even sound like me. So I have been guessing that other people have felt very similarly about when they accidentally do something pretty amazing. If you guys have had any similar experiences where you accidentally performed a great feat. Let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have done. Anyway, I thought that would be a nice uplifting video to talk about on Christmas Eve. I hope you guys have wonderful, happy holidays. Look forward to next week's video. I kind of made it so that the last video of 2016 would be an FCNY review video. If you guys like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Saturday. My last video is over there, and if you want to catch me during the week, my social media networks are down there. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Bye. I made a video while I was going there that was addressed to my sectional. Basically, I was doing a flute sectional, but in a video form because I could not get everyone to meet at the same time. It just was not working with everyone's crazy student schedules. So I asked permission from my director, who is at that time teaching there, Dr. Zaglka. He gave me the permission to make that video. So there you go. That's why that video exists on this channel. I have not made it private or anything. You guys can still go and see it. I'll link it up here for you guys.